Hello everyone. In our previous class we have learnt about two problems of exercise 1.1, and in the first one I have explained two problems and the remaining one problem I have given for homework, and that problem is 1651 and 2032. Okay, this is the third problem of first bit. Okay, now as we know, like there are two numbers and we have to consider the bigger number as A and the smaller number as B. That is, B is equals to 1651. Now we have to divide it with the smaller number, that is 2032 divided by 1651. That is what we get. Ones are 1651 and 183. Here this can be written as 2032 can be written as 1651 into 1 plus 381. That is 2032 can be written as 1651 into 1 plus 381. Now what we have to do is, we have to consider this as a B and this as A. That means 1651 divided by 381. Okay. Now this can be written as 381 4s are 1424. Okay, and the remainder will be 721. Okay, therefore we can write it as 381 into 4 plus 127. Now as it is not 0, as the value of r is not equal to 0, again we have to divide it again by taking this as b value and this as a value. That means 381 is equals to, okay, how do we get 381 divided by 127? In simple we'll get like 127 3s are 381 and the remainder is 0. Okay, 127 into 3 plus 0. Therefore HCF of 1651 and 2032 is 127, because here we got the value as 0 and the B value of the remainder 0 is taken as HCF of the given two numbers. Now this is all about the first problem, and second problem we have already done. This is the third problem which is given in the exercise. Use division algorithm to show that the square of any positive integers is of the form 3p plus 3p comma 3p plus 1. Here this is positive integers as I have explained in our first class. Okay, now what we shall do is, we have to use division algorithm for any positive integers which are of the form 3p comma 3p plus 1. Okay, let A be the square of any integer. We shall take A is equals to the square of any positive integer. Applying Euclid's division lemma with A and B is equals to 0. As we have got here, A is equals to 3p or 3p plus 1. This is the value of B. This is Q plus R is equals to 0. For this the R is equals to 1. Okay, that means B value is what? B we are taking it as 0. Okay, since 0 is less than or equal to R and less than or equal to 3, the possible remainders are 0, 1 and 1, 2. Okay, here as B value is 3, R value should be less than B. That means R can be 0 or 1 or 2. Okay, that means what are the possible numbers we will be getting? Okay, this is the form. We have this form 3p, right? That means A is equals to 3p plus 0, that is A is equals to 3p, comma 3p plus 1 or 3p plus 2 are the possible squares of the positive integers for the value A. Okay, therefore any square number is of the form 3q plus 1, 3q plus 2, where q is a quotient. Okay, and coming to the next topic, we have fourth question. Okay, fourth question is given as nm comma nm plus 1. Okay, so here also we have to use the same method by taking b value as n, 9, and r is equals to 0, 1, 2, so on 8. You have to substitute up to 8. and the third one is and fifth one is also the same, which are divisible by 3. Going to the next topic, that is fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Okay, we know from Euclid division lemma for positive integers a and b, there exists a unique pair of integers q and r are satisfying a is equals to bq plus r, where a0 is less than or equal to r less than b. We have already seen about the Euclid division lemma, where it is in the form of a is equals to bq plus r, where b r value should be in between 0 and it should be less than b. Okay. From the above discussion, you might have concluded that if a is divisible by b, then we can say that b is a factor of a. So here, for example, we have taken here, okay, 381 is there, okay. So here we are considering this as a and this as b. When we are dividing a by b, then we can also say that 127 is a factor of 381, isn't it? For example, if we consider a value as 9 and b value as 3. Okay, that means 3 divided by 9 divided by 3. 3 3s are 9. This is b, this is a, this is b. That means 3 is also a factor of 9. We can say that this b is factor of a. Okay. For example, we know that 12 is equals to 24 is equals to 2 into 12. 24 is equals to 8 into 3. Okay, here we have, let us consider one more example. 24 is given. 24 can be written as what? 12 into 2, or 24 can be written as 8 into 3. So we can write this as 2 into 2. 2 2s are 4. 4 2s are 8 into 3, right? Okay. If we know that 24 is equals to 2 into 12, then we can say that 2 and 12 are factors of 24. We can also write 24 is equals to 2 into 2 into 2 into 3, and you know that it is a prime factorization of 24. So here we can write that 12 as 12 into 2. Sorry, 24 as 12 into 2. So these two are also factors of 24, and we can write 24 as 2 into 2 into 2 into 3, where this is called as prime factorization. Let us take any collection of prime numbers, say 2 into 3 into 7, 2, 3, 7, 11 and 23. If we multiply some or all of these numbers along them to repeat as many as times we wish, we can produce infinitely many large positive integers. Let us observe a few. So here, prime factorization. Why we are not ending here, why we are coming to here? Prime factorization is the method where we take the factors up to prime numbers. Now we cannot further find the factors of these numbers because it is a prime number and it doesn't have any other factors. That is why we call it as a prime number. And by multiplying the prime numbers, we get many bigger numbers. Okay, just like it is given as 2 into 3 into 11. You know, like 2 3s are 6. 11 6 are 66. Okay. 2 into 3 into 7 into 11. Okay, it is like 10626. Now let us suppose your collection of prime includes all the possible primes. What is your guess about the size of this collection? Does it only contain a finite number of primes or infinitely many? In fact, there are infinitely many primes, so if we multiply all these primes in all possible ways, we will get an infinite collection of composite numbers. So here, in this number, this is a prime number, this is a prime number, and this is a prime number. And the product of this is a composite number. Here, in the same way, if we multiply different prime numbers, we get an infinite collection of composite numbers as a products. Okay, we will be learning about fundamental theorem of arithmetic in the next class. Thank you.